Welcome back, survivors! Comfy? Have some tea? No? 'Cause I sure do.
Who are you?
That, over there, that's RQ, not knowing how to have any fun. And I'm Gabriel Blythe. We are both survivors in the Salt Lake area. RQ also doesn't like sharing anything personal about herself.
I need coffee if you're going to continue being whatever this is.
I would love to continue with the witty banter between you and I, our fun little tete-a-tetes, if you will, but I have other pressing matters. The story of Eva Schuster and her secret cabal.
Who?
Okay, so Eva Schuster was in charge of that military base that you and I met in.
Sure, but why were you there?
It's like you're asking the right questions.
Or you could just tell me the story from the beginning.
Less fun option, but the logical one. It's why I need you, the smart one. Okay, so back when I was alone and trying to figure this all out, yeah? You remember I was basing my theories on what caused the end of the world, all based on media tropes. Well, the one that made the most amount of sense was terrorists. Maybe some children of the revolution, inspired by the rebels Washington and Franklin. So I figured if that was the case, the Royal Military would have some forewarning or some data pointing in one direction or another, right? So went up to the base up at uni. It's that one over there. You can see it out the window. Found the office of the person who was in charge, one Brigadier Messinger. I would roll my R's if I could, but it's a physical impossibility for me. Had a lot of transfer logs between himself and Schuster. Supplies and assignments, mostly boring stuff. But, I found this project that was really hush-hush. It had a cool code name and everything. Project Endless.
Sounds like it's full of potential.
I'm ignoring how much of a downer you are today. Anyways, Endless was being moved through a series of secret tunnels all throughout Salt Lake. I found out Brigadier Schuster, right, took it off of Messinger's hands, and the notes here read that it ended with her. So I went down to figure out what it was. If not the end of the world, I was hoping it'd be at least something cool to learn about, right? Another hobby, if you will.
So you go to Camp William, steal some computer parts, get attacked, get saved by yours truly. You're welcome.
How many times do you want me to thank you for that?
Probably a lot more.
Right.
So what is Endless?
Well, we're working on that part. I had to decode Schuster's hard drives and her email servers. So that's taking some time. There has been some cool, interesting bits that you, dear survivor, might appreciate. I mentioned Project MA, right? That stands for Massive Area Attacks and Weaponry. Eva had requested bioengineers for her team to work on it.
Holy shit. A bioweapon? Aren't those like war crimes to use?
See, and now you're interested. So, my thought was how a bioweapon could cause the end of the world. Following?
Well, especially if some cartoonishly evil organization got their hands on it.
I feel like you're making fun of me, but yes, that's my thinking. Anyways, Eva was in a big hurry with Project Ma and Endless and was complaining to Messinger back here in Salt Lake. Read this.
Yes, my favorite being called out to read out loud. Okay. Messinger, your new recruits are shit. What the hell do you do up there all day? If this is what's passing as top-tier engineers, then I would hate to think what good sex sounds like to you. Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I knew you would. Keep reading.
Okay. I'm on a serious time crunch. I need to move this from offensive to support and aid. I only have a few weeks, and you want to screw me over like this. Well, let's just say if I get you for Secret Santa this year, I'm going to provide my own sock and fill it with... She is graphic and... very detailed.
Didn't ever seem to bother Messinger, though, right? Seems like this was honestly usual behavior. And trust me, after reading the number of emails I have, this was not a one-time event. So, like here, Messinger replied saying, Eva, I looked forward to your Christmas gift because we just scored a transfer for more bio nerds your way. No clue why they were sent from Harvard to here, but I'll take them. You put too much stress on Ma, and besides, you alone can't save this world.
Sounds like Eva was trying to make this weapon into what? Something that didn't hurt people but help?
Yeah, I guess that's right. It gets really technical in our notes here, but I don't have anything as nice as schematics or anything but field notes, test updates from people on the team, and she kept a log of most of her updates, like this one here. She talks about how in the most recent test, they were able to take a cloud that dispersed a cure to some lab rats, and it showed a 95% success rate in an enclosed environment and 72.8% success rate outdoors. Granted, that is on a small scale, but...
So why was she in such a hurry?
Oh, because some bigwigs wanted to use it for aerial attacks, and they didn't know she was modifying it.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Sounds about right. So, who reports to who and the protocols and everything, it goes over my head. I guess she was hoping that by showing the success of the cloud-based cure-all, she would be able to help more than hurt. I don't know, she never really talks about her own motivations, but think about how easy it would be to spread a vaccine in more rural areas. You don't need to line everyone up, you just spray the air and everyone who breathes it in is cured. Instant removal of polio, smallpox, no more canvassing.
Sure. Or you create a super virus and instantaneous pandemic.
Yeah. That too. I think it's safe to say that Eva was trying to keep this in a positive light. Always talking cures, vaccine, effectiveness of giving aid. Stuff like that.
It's nice that you're so full of hope, but you're looking at this in such a narrow fashion. It doesn't matter if she was a good person or had a heart of gold. She makes this thing with good intention. She can't control how her higher-ups use it. She can't control what their intent is, the king's intent. Probably not even him. Some military going with a hard-on from watching others suffer will have his hand on this button.
Well, Listen, I know you're right. I know. But I gotta hope for the best in people. It's like my whole thing, RQ.
Fine. Move on.
Fine. Anyways. So, with what we know about Ma, this is where Project Endless comes into play. You still with me, Survivor? There's a lot of moving parts here.
What's so hard? More is an air-based weapon turned good. Endless is coming in close.
I should hire you for recaps. But Project Endless wasn't just another weapon. It was a bunch of people who were very important and in very important positions who decided to go rogue.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does. If they get something out of it, maybe even a cure.
For?
Everything. MS? Cured. ALS? Cured. AIDS? Cured. Polio? All the way down to the basics of the common cold and HPV. Eva had bent the ear, called in every favor, or made some shady threats to get a select few to listen, and the people liked what they heard. We're talking oligarchs, clergy, ministry, government. All these people wanted to know how to cure everything, and probably market it. So Eva brought them all together, virtually, on private server, which is this private server right here.
Clever. Good unsanctioned project. Avoid the red tape.
That was something that they mentioned. How this all made the testing side of things easier, but budgeting and keeping that off the books was more tricky. But with all of the connections that these people had, they knew who to send the form to for a sloppy signature without any review. Listen, Survivor, I know RQ may have never heard about something like this, but you know how, like, you can walk into anywhere if you, like, carry a ladder and you look kind of official, right? People just think you're meant to be there. Well, if you throw around the big boss's name and say, it's your head if it's not signed, usually that works too.
King and country. I hate everything about this, and at the same time, it is very interesting. So, what's the cure? Where did it come from? It's been on the move, so did it ever actually make it here?
That is the million-pound question. The decoding of the server has been very, very slow. I only have half the picture. The last bit that I was able to decode it's more or less based on the length of the email, so shorter emails first, right? Whatever this item is, was taken right from underneath the king's nose, which I find super exciting. It could be anything. Could be his crown, for crying out loud. But with all of these cues, it's something powerful, maybe even something like Excalibur.
How do you figure?
I mean, it's always said that it was there to keep Arthur healthy in battle, right? Anytime he picked up the sword, he was strong again. Maybe even cured, right? Cured him any time he wielded it, like Mjolnir.
What is Mjolnir?
Oh, geez. So, if you remember your history, right? Remember when England was under attack by Vikings? Okay, that blank face says everything. To simplify it, and to upset a lot of people, those Vikings, aka Norsemen, believed in a pantheon of gods, pagan gods. That's where this one guy, not many people know his true name, but he wielded this magical hammer. And there's stories out there where the enemy was trying to negotiate, but was drunk out of his mind. Then, picked up the hammer, instantly sober. Cured of poison. When the Norsemen invaded, Arthur, with his experience, and Merlin, with his talent, were able to wipe out those said invaders pretty easily. You should read The Hammer and Sword. It's this really great book about King Arthur and facing the unnamed wielder of Mjolnir.
Ooh, maybe for my next Dungeons & Dragons game.
Oh, you play?
No, but of course you do.
Well, whatever the item is, magic swords or not, I have this map. It's not very specific as of yet, but it marks a rough journey from England proper through the different territories.
So it made stops, changed hands at these points.
Another great question. However, this is where my encryption has kind of stopped. The program I'm using gets technical, but basically it goes for easiest short message first to decrypt. It's frustrating, I know, but I don't have everything in the right chronological order yet.
Then why not just wait for everything to be done?
I suppose you never ate cookie dough before it was baked, or licked the bowl with the batter still on the sides.
So you're impatient?
No, I would say I'm a very patient person, but this is the exception. Like I said, if anything, this is some great drama.
Never really cared for it.
This isn't a surprise coming from you, actually. All secrets, no tea.
Don't you forget it.
All right. I think besides you getting a break from the Gabe info dump session, our dear survivors out there deserve one as well. So, if you happen to be a world-class code breaker, hacker elite, and you have been aching for a chance to get back into the game, stop on by. I'll be on the college campus building. Midday to sundown. RQ even shows up to bring burnt tea.
It was one time.
And if that sounds fun to you, or you need any support, come find us. Remember, Survivor, you aren't alone, and you don't have to be. Good luck out there.